okay, and I will send the recording later on to the Telegram channel. Right. So once again, thank you for joining me in today's weekly training. So today I will go through first our TradeVSA daily screener. Then I'll pass to my colleague Alif. He will share with you about the US market and of course combination on the bottom fishing as well. So okay, now let's go to this Pentagon guided by screener. Again, the information in all the screener actually is similar, just that depending on what type of signals they are looking for. Of course, for new members, usually I encourage them to focus on the green Pentagon and then followed by NS. Okay, so let me bring my pens up so I can do some remark, right? So do let me know also if let's say you got any questions, so I will stop and answer questions too. Okay, hello Tony, hello Madam Lu. Okay, so again, remember for screener, okay, three important columns for us to look into. First is the name itself, ST, LT. Okay, so the name representing the hit zone. Okay, again, remember when you subscribe to this TradeVSA plugin, okay, it come together with the hit zone indicators. Okay, so of course we are not really using the hit zone indicator nowadays because we are more focusing on Pentagon. But I think hit zone is pretty good, okay, if you want to look into the overall trend, okay, for mid to long term, right? So that's why whenever I want to look for a stock to trade, I always like to look for green color first, okay, rather than red colors. Okay, so this is my personal preference, okay, to ensure that they actually is above support level, or maybe they are at least in a bullish trend. Okay, so the next thing is that ST and LT. So ST again representing the 50 MA, okay, and LT representing the 200 MA. So the percentage here, again, remember, it's not your short-term TP or long-term TP. Okay, again, some member asked me a MGRC. Is it means long-term I can get 86%? No, okay. So the percentage here, it means that how far the price is trending away, okay, from the 200 MA. Okay, so again, by using this few information here, you actually will know that, okay, is this stock actually is in a very super bullish trend, or maybe they are doing a pullback, okay, or no, maybe they are in bearish, or maybe they are in sideways, right? So if let's say, for example, stocks like, above 100%, or maybe even like MGLs, I think they are pretty trending, okay? So sometimes all these kind of concepts, you might want to be careful on immediate pullback example. So especially for new members, I think best is that you all start with green color coded first. Okay, so for example, I think SKP resources, okay, even though the hit zone is in red, but I think it's worth to pay attention to, because the STLT is holding, but I can say, okay, is in green. Okay, they don't really come with pretty good momentum, haven't break up yet, and definitely it's not bearish. Okay, so Astro as well, even though it's red, but it seems like very close with support. Again, want to look into the chart. Velo, okay, all in green. Usually I prefer all in green. So if you look into this is a bit confusing, right? I think lots of members ask me, is that what it means? Here got green, purple, and red. Okay, so what it means in this chart here. Now, a few things that you can actually, again, using this information to help you out better. So of course, hit zone wise in green, so this is potentially a bullish. And if you realize, okay, ST here is come with better momentum. That's the long term. Okay, so which means that long term wise, maybe it's still a bit weak. Okay, and short term wise, maybe they're already gaining some momentum. So this is a potential a reversal trade. Okay, you can follow me so far. Okay, tab 1, yes, tab 2, no. Okay, for those who can follow tab 1, yes, tab 2, no. Right, so again, this is some of the very quick information you can get from the screener. Okay, let me repeat. ST, purple, so which means they are building a momentum, right? But LT somehow is still weakening, right? Because it's in red, -6. So maybe few things, okay? So maybe long-term wise, based on 200 MA, they are still below. Maybe they are still like, downtrend for 200 days. But short-term wise, 50 MA, recently they got some momentum. Okay, so again, potentially a reversal trades. Okay, so this is again how you interpret, okay, by purely using the screener. Okay, so let me go through again few more counters. Okay, or maybe, okay, we go to open seats. Okay, Let's go to OpenSys. Okay, so this is what it means. Okay, so again, if you add the 200 MA and the 50 MA, okay, you will see the line carrier, but again, just based purely on this chart here, this is again downtrending. Okay, trend is weakening, right? So seems like recently they got a reversal with increasing volume. Okay, so maybe this is a good reversal trades. Now, another question that member often asks is that why the ST is 50 MA and the LT is 200 MA. Okay, but in Pentagon, in our Pentagon indicators, right, we are using 20 to 400 MA. Okay, now the answer is this. Okay, because the screener is looking into a longer time frame. Okay, I can say that, or maybe look into charts that more than 6 to 12 months. Okay, so what it means is that we are looking into overall direction of the market. Okay, maybe accumulation, uptrend. Okay, and we use Pentagon to help us. Okay, to determine where is the right entry. Okay, during this uptrend or during this reaccumulation or accumulation. Right. So this is how we combine by using slightly a bit bigger picture long term, and we switch to Pentagon for short terms. All right, so okay, now let's go to few counters. Of course, KRSE counters, I think from time to time we do review. Okay, and of course we do post some good stocks as well to the Telegram channel. Again, I didn't really post lots of counters to the members group there because most of the stocks that we pick, okay, always come from the screener. Okay, so from time to time, come back to check again, especially Pentagon NS. Okay, go back to 5 days ago, 10 days ago. Okay, to look for the chart setup. Okay, now let's go to XGX. Okay, probably I'll start with Green Pentagon first. Then I'll go to Hong Kong market before I pass to my colleague Alif for him to continue on the US market. So seems like not much of the selection here. So again, we got rate. This is again a bit weakening. All right, so let's see, because this is 4 cents, so I don't really want to look into stock below 4 cents. Okay, let's look into this as well. I think both to monitor because the long term seems like it's still in green, right? BDR. Okay. So long term wise, okay, this is still in uptrend, but short term is weakening. Okay, so seems like they might start to do a reaccumulation, but again, this is a bit illiquid. Okay, so this is a bit illiquid. Usually I like to have certain volumes. Okay, let's try RQ1. Okay, so this is daily chart. Seems like it's an accumulation. Let's look into weekly. Okay, so this is definitely in accumulation. Okay, not a very nice trending counters overall. Okay, let's look into 14. Okay, but anyway, XGS market, if you realize currently is in red Pentagon, right? If you click on this calendar, okay, the calendar is in red colors, okay, which means STI currently is in red. Okay, so seems like no much. Okay, or maybe I use NS because we want to check which stock is holding well above support, okay, during this weak market. Okay, BSL, this is from yesterday, BSL. Okay, so seems like this NS is pretty good. Pushing it back to 2040 is a bit similar like iFast. Okay, we got one NS over here too. Okay, if you look into iFast, okay, I think iFast got several NS. Okay, here 3 during this reaccumulation, and we got 1. Okay, break below 2040 but push it back. Okay, if you go back to BSL, okay, probably same things as well. Okay, first test on SP and we got NS. Okay, maybe you want to wait for a few more tests, okay, to ensure they are building a nice reaccumulation. Okay, let's look into weekly chart. This is a good bar. Okay, so be careful on buy climax. So usually this might be a buy climax, but of course the next few days it doesn't come with uptrend high volume, so potentially it might go into a period of reaccumulation. So best is that you, if let's say you're aiming for long term, okay, you can wait for them to touch the 20 MA, okay, somewhere around here to lower down your risk. Okay, so there's, I think always okay, but just that maybe you want to wait for several good tests in the daily chart, like for example IFAST. Okay, let's go to page 02. Okay, downtrending. Okay, if you realize also, the screener, everything is in red, right? Everything is in red. So again, basic rules we still apply, even though currently this counter still have NS, okay, but doesn't mean that we want to take the trades because it's in downtrend right now. Okay, so this counter is in downtrend. Red pentagon below 2040s. Okay, you want to avoid these trades. So okay, let's go to one more day. We look into NS. Let's see what other counters that are holding well nicely above support level with NS. Okay, like BSL. Okay, no stocks. Okay, on 14th, let's go to 13, and I'll go to Hong Kong market later on. RE4. I think XGX not much of counter recently. Okay, so all seems like it's still holding on NS. Okay, we got one over here previously. After it break the reaccumulation, pull back, uptrend. Now we got another NS. Okay, so seems like also building a nice COC. Okay, volume is pretty low. Weekly charts. Okay, no major weakness, but maybe if you want to lower down your risk, okay, so this is the high volume bar. Okay, you can probably aim for this area. Okay, KS done. Hi Zach. Can you explain a bit quantitatively how the percentage of ST and LT trend are? Okay, so for ST and LT, okay, this is to answer KS done. Okay, so for example, in this case here, ST trend, 5%, right? So which means that the price is actually trading 5% above, okay, the closing price. Okay, so for example, if I add my MA over here, okay, can change to 50 MA. Okay, so this is 50 MA. Okay, so from here, this is RE4, 5%. Okay, so this is, sorry, and is this correct? Okay, this is 13 September. Okay, 13 September. Okay. So this is ST 50 MA. I think I add the wrong MA. Okay, let's try again. Oh, okay, sorry, this is based on weekly chart. I should go to daily. Okay, so let's go back to MA. Just want to show how actually it calculates, okay, based on the percentage. Okay, so later on, Alif, we're going to show you all how to do the bottom fishing using 200 MA. So you need to add the MA over here. Okay, so you just change to 50. Okay, change the colors. I put it red. Okay, so if you just draw the line from here, this is 13. From here to here is about 5 to 6%. Okay, so they actually calculates the closing. Okay, somewhere here, 5-6%. Oh, sorry with my screen. Okay, 5%. Okay, so let's say LT is 24%. So if you add another moving average, Okay, so this is from here on 13th September. Okay, closing price. I think they are taking the closing price, okay, for a screener. Okay, it's around 26%. Okay, so from here, 5 to 24%. Okay, so hopefully I can answer your questions. Okay, KS Tan. Okay, let's go to Hong Kong market. Again, we use the same one. Okay, looking into NS screener. Okay, let's go back to, okay, seems like HKEX also turns to red pentagon also. All right, so we go to 15. Okay, so again, let's see what is the stocks that actually they are doing pullback, okay, on this weak market currently. Okay, I like to sort according to LT, so I would like to see which is trending, which is not, so probably I'll avoid those in red colors. So this is pretty trending, 976. Okay, we've got NS after it breaks out, kind of similar like KGB. Okay, breaks out above reaccumulation, NS, okay, but super trending right now. Afraid this is a buying climate because of high volumes on widespread bar. So usually high volume widespread bar, price will sideways for a while. Okay, probably want to wait for confirmation on no distribution, like for example, no ultra high volume, to look for a pullback area. So, okay, let's look into Sun Hun Kai, okay, 86. Okay, weekly. Okay, we can combine with the trend line as well. Okay, weekly chart still uptrend. Looks like it crossed the midpoint. It doesn't hold above the midpoint, so probably it will test the S1. Okay, so we should somewhere around here. Okay, turns to red pentagons today. NS didn't hold above the trend 40s, right? So maybe it will come to retest, okay, on this 40 MA. So continue to monitor for sign of strength. Any other good counters for Hong Kong and XGX? Probably I take 1 or 2 more questions before I pass to Alif. Okay, if not, I go to IPE. Okay, strong breakout. This is also daily charts. Okay, let's look into hourly chart, whether got any nice COC or not. Okay, so again, for masterclass members, if you are looking for good trending counters, okay, I think today one of the very good example is ScanWolf. So you can actually try to check out, okay, is there any good COC for you to trade on whiteboard? Okay, for example, I think Saipa also having a very nice COC in hourly chart. Okay, so we go to one more counters before I pass to Alif. Okay, we start with daily first. Okay, so this is also break above the main resistance, kind of similar like Red Tech. Okay, kind of remind me like this like Red Tech UWC. All right, so final break. This is also like a VCP setup as well. Okay, let me redraw again the resistance line. Okay, if I take this resistance, the top here, so it looks like they are doing a VCP. Okay, so here's the high volume. Remember we talked about reaccumulation start with above high volume as well. This is the things that we want to monitor. Above high volume above trend 40s. Here also got another one. Okay, so we got 2 areas come with above high volume. So this is an area that they are showing a sign that they want to continue support. So here, final wave of VCP breakup. So if let's say long-term wise, I think this is a nice continuation of trend. So weekly chart wise, okay, the trend line is still pointing up, trending above the midpoint, and we got NS over here. Okay, so maybe it will make a pullbacks, okay, before continue. Okay, so if you are looking for long term, okay, Madam Lu. How is the percentage from PG calculated for KRSC? All right, so let's go to KSE. Okay, so example, this is 14 September. Okay, let's take a look into Hexstar, right? So currently it's 5.3%. Going back to daily. So it calculates from the closing. Okay, from the closing to yesterday closing. Okay, which means the closing of the green pentagons compared to yesterday closing. Again, depending on the date, okay, of the pentagons there. Okay, so for example, on 14 September, okay, it turns to green pentagon for Hexstar. Okay, so as for today, it already goes up 5.3%. Okay, compared to yesterday price. So let's say it closed today, so this will be updated to today. So okay, one things that you can actually use as well, I think, from this percentage from green pentagon. Okay, no need to focus those that come with big winners. Like for example, I think Ken Holdings, okay, seems like it haven't really moved yet from green pentagon. I think this is a few counters that you can monitor as well. Okay, so like for example, EMAS Pro and Ken Holding. Okay, this is a bit illiquid. Ken Holdings. Okay, today jalan a bit, but yesterday it haven't really moved up a lot. Okay, so you can use this as well in your green pentagon. So you look for those that it turns to green pentagon for a few days, but haven't really break up yet. Okay, so all this actually is both to pay attention to. And car. Okay, but this is illiquid. When can I access the 7 days recording? Okay, I will repost again the links there. Okay, I will repost again. GP NUT and SD, depending on the screener. Okay, if let's say you are using NS, okay, it will based on NS day. If you are using Pentagon, it will based on Pentagon's day. Okay, so for the 7-day tutorial series, I will repost again to the Telegram channel shortly. All right, so with this, I will pass to my colleague Alif to continue on the sections. Thank you.
Testing, 1, 2, 3, test. Picture one suara. You all hear me? Doing a sound check, testing. You all can hear me? Okay, great. Hi everyone. Good afternoon. So I'll be showcasing to you some of this US stock, but we'll be using the technique of bottom fishing. Okay. So one thing, the difference about the US stock is that you can see there's a bit of a wide price range of anything below $10, and then we have anything between $10 to up to $99, and then we have the one up to the $100. Okay. So these price factors may play also a role in determining whether there is a nice potential setup for bottom fishing, in the sense that usually for like, okay, when you go on to your, what you call this, the dashboard, okay, then you go to screener, you select your Pentagon guider, buy, okay, which we want to look for those bottom fishing that has a nice Pentagon setup. Voice fading. Sound, okay. Is it okay now, the sound? Okay. Is it okay? Oh, it's okay, yeah. Anyone having sound issues? Okay, let me just change this. Okay, what about now? Okay, yeah? This one like swinging stone. Sing a song. No, okay, all right, okay. Right. I think because I had putting the laptop on the box. Okay, right. So just now, as I said, you go to your dashboard, then you go to screener and we look for Pentagon guided buy, where we want to look for the stocks which bottom fishing that has a Pentagon setup, then they will be the one that we want to enter. Okay, so once we have here, we see the Pentagon guide, just make sure you choose either NASDAQ or NYSE. Okay, so usually NASDAQ will have some nice ones. NYSE also got, but is a bit volatile to my observation so far. So, and in this case here, still inconsistent. Okay. I don't have any different. So can I borrow your? Just hang on, yeah. Oh, I don't have the cable. Okay. No. I'm not using an earphone. I'm using the laptop mic. Worst case, I use your laptop mic. Okay, just hang on. Let me do a bit of a swap. I'll use back Zach's laptop. Usually I have my own microphone, but today in the office I didn't bring my microphone. So yeah, let's go back to Zach there.
Okay, right. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Right, now is this more clear? Okay. Better, yeah? Okay, great. Now sound like P. Ramlee. I can't sing. If I sing, hujan nanti. Okay, all right. So, okay, okay, I'll start back. Okay, so for the bottom fishing for US, usually I would suggest you want to look into NASDAQ market first, okay, before you go to NYSE. So you go to your screener, Pentagon guided buy. That is where we want to see any nice bottom fishing. At least they have a green Pentagon that appear. So once you have your Pentagon guider here, click on the exchange and select NASDAQ. NASDAQ will you give more priority lah. Okay, if don't have, then you go to NYSE. Okay, because NASDAQ, some of it is quite nice. And the NYSE is the volatility is quite high, okay, but nevertheless, just bear in mind, if you go for bottom fishing, the aim, of course, we want the price to go straight to from bottom up to 200 MA, but if in the event it fails to go up to reach there, then that's where you need to quickly cut your, or I mean exit your position with either a small profit or small losses. Okay, so for in this case, we go on to 16th of September, which was yesterday. Okay, and you sort by the LT trend. Now, LT trend here is basically referring to 200 MA. And if you remember the rules, we look anything that is negative 10 and above. Okay, so we have the negative, which is the lowest, all the way down to the highest. Okay, so we go look for negative 10. And in the beginning, I did mention about the pricing of the stock. It plays a role also, okay, because if you see that the price is small, okay, it looks cheap, and maybe if let's say like negative 10 is looks okay, but trust me, when you trade this kind of stock, in terms of your percentage for you to achieve your stop loss also is quite fast, okay, because remember, a smaller digit percentage, the smaller pricing for the stock, the percentage will be higher compared to this one like $68, the percentage is a bit lower, okay. Okay, so there is one that I will look maybe into here on Faro. Okay, so we go to here and we type in Faro. Okay, Faro Technologies. Okay, so I'll put in the 200 MA. Was it another screen as that you have 200 MA here? No, you don't have it, right? Okay. Never mind. I'll add in. Okay, so for those of you who have or can add more indicators, you type in moving average. Okay, and you have here under built-ins, you see here when you hover your mouse on moving average, there's a star on the left side here. So when you click star, it automatically adds to your favorite. So let's say I put star here. Then every time I come into my favorites, I just look for my moving average. There, it will be there. Just click once and it will appear. Okay, so oops, sorry. Okay, so with this, then just double click on the blue line there. By default is 9 MA, so we change it to 200. Style, just make it a bit color and a bit thicker. The line there, okay. All right, and okay. So we can see here, this has a nice setup here, okay. You'll see on the left side, it did drop down, okay, and bounce back off, right? But eventually what we want is the price to close below this 200 MA line here, okay. So the price close below and we can see the 2040 becomes 4020 and sort of like a space gap there, okay. So when we see this kind of, that we have like for the first green pentagon and the price close above, if you remember, I think last 2-3 weeks back, I did mention that try to avoid the first pentagon, okay, when the price close above. Usually it will not fly off further up, okay? So wait for at least the next green pentagon here. So we can see now it has one green pentagon as of yesterday. Price closed nicely above the 20 MA here, okay? So in terms of your risk to reward, if let's say you wanting to consider to enter this stock, okay? So we put in the average to range, okay, not this one. Where's your average true range? Let me type ATR stop loss. Okay. Right, this ATR stop loss here, where we have here, okay. So you can see this ATR here is around what, 64.15, for example. Okay. So in terms of your risk, is quite low. From point of entry down here, so it's around like 6%, okay, rounding up to 6%. So in terms of your reward, if let's say the highest it reaches up to the 200 MA is around nearly 13% there, okay. So even though if it doesn't go up high, if let's say it goes somewhere here, if the price fails to go up higher, then you need to cut fast and continue to move on to another counter. Okay, so this is the kind that we want, and don't forget also to look at the angle here. So let's say here is we have green pentagon here, right? Okay, it just started and we want to see whether the angle is it really between the range which is -5 to +5 degree. So click onto the line there, okay, where the green pentagon is, then you move on to the back. And we can see roughly plus minus is around 1% degree angle, okay, or -1. And it's still within the range, okay? So that one is tick. Number 2, price is below 2040 and below 200 MA, that's tick number 2. And now we have the price close above the 20 MA with the green pentagon, that's tick number 3. So is there a potential entry for here? Maybe, but you need to do your due diligence for this one, okay? So like here we can see it's quite nice for this stock here. This one is Faro. Another one, okay, let's go through the screener here. What we have here next, we have, okay, let me just put it, okay. This is Pentagon by Nasdaq, right? So MPAA, yeah, okay, we have one MPA motor car parts, MPAA, okay. So here we have, okay, quite nice also. When we see here, number 1, we see that the price close below, there's a bit of like a downtrend there, okay, after it has like a double top sort of, okay. How do you know double top is usually the first top here, we have the high concentration of volume. When it comes to the second top here, usually the volume a bit die down. So usually it will be a double top there. Okay. Likewise, double bottom also will be the same. First bottom will be high, second bottom will be a lower volume. So we can see the price come down. Okay, so that's tick number 1 below 2040, 4020. And then number 2, we have the green pentagon here, but we did not see the price close above 20 MA. Okay, so this one we still consider as probably bottom fishing akan datang. All right, let's see in terms of the angle. We see here is around 178. So 180 minus 178 is around like 2-degree angle. Okay, so it's still okay, tak ada masalah. Just need to observe further how whether it has any setup or not. Okay, but since this is the first green pentagon, most likely maybe we see a first rebound, then maybe another, it will come down back again, and maybe another green pentagon for it to go up. Okay, so just you can monitor this MPAA, all right, for Nasdaq stocks, and see how this bar unfold in the next maybe 1 or 2 weeks times. Okay, for US market is most likely there will be what you call this, Federal Reserve meeting next week. Okay, so that will have sort of like an impact on our on the Dow Jones market. If you look at the index CFD here, we can see the price has been moving on the sideways for quite some time. And now it's like sort of like doing a bit of a correction here. Okay, so let's just monitor and see how it goes from there. Okay, I believe it may, like Martin said, it should be trending up already. Okay, and in between it will do a bit of a rest, maybe do a bit of a wash perhaps, because of as what Martin said, in September usually the price will come down. Okay, but towards end of October like that, then the market will start to come back up due to window dressing by the fund managers. Okay, they try to make their funds look good, so they will start to be a bit aggressive towards that. Okay, right, so coming back here, that's only two, right? Let's say you want to look at others, for example, like SYRS, Cyrus Pharmaceutical, like say $5 here. Okay, we can have a look. SYRS. Okay, you can see this one here will be, there is one like nice bottom fishing somewhere here, but dia tak menjadi. This one like it closed, but the next bar it closed higher here. Okay, and we don't have any green pentagon. So usually if you want a better edge for beginners lah, if you want a better edge, you wait for the green pentagon to enter. Like here we have green pentagon, okay, on 22nd April, but the price did not close above the 20 MA. Okay, always remember, if you want it a nice one, it has to close above the 20 MA here. Okay, this one here we did see it closes, but again the price is too near the 200 MA, so this one memang takkan jadi punya. Okay, you have to remember, if let's say you go for fishing, you are on a boat, then it should be where the floor of the lake or the sea, it should be deeper. Okay, if let's say it's very cetek like this, like sawah padi like that, then we don't need the boat, okay, to do bottom fishing. That one we can use our hand to grab the ikan keli or what. So we want to wait for the price at least a distance away from the 200 MA here coming down, and that's where you want to put in your bait and to do a catching. Okay, but in this case, like this one is already fly up, and we don't have like a green pentagon nearby, so it's a bit difficult. If let's say you enter solely on discretion, then you need to like quickly faster exit the price here, the trade here. Okay, now here will be an interesting setup here for if let's say you miss the bottom fishing. This one here is that, say we want to see where this 200 MA converge with the 20 MA and 40 MA, and price comes out, will come down. Okay, so usually somewhere near the convergence here, this is where usually there will be one potential setup for you to enter. Okay, but the result I'm not sure yet, because so far we haven't seen any kind of setup like this. But in terms of FCPO, usually here it will tend to be like fly up after that. Okay, if you trade FCPO. All right, so this one you can monitor to observe if there's any if there's a convergence, then you can monitor and see how the charts unfold from there. Okay, right. How did I pick Faro and MPPA from the long list? Okay, this is to answer KS Tan. Basically, I opened the Pentagon. Okay, then I select the exchange is Nasdaq. All right, then so happened yesterday was the date they already closed, so we have the list here. You sort by LT trend. Okay, LT trend, and I will look for the stock at least is like above $15 or $16. Okay, and -10 and above. Okay, so let's say like this one here, Faro. Okay, this is one of it, and then another one is MPAA. Okay, so above -10. So we can have a look here. Okay, RCM and JBLU. Okay, so RCM. Okay, RCM here. So RCM, we have a look here. Okay, although we see there is what you call this, this 200 MA here, okay, and price coming down quite well. But when we see this green pentagon, the price is already way shoot up above here. Okay, so we don't take this. We want at least the price, it closes here above the 20 MA but below 40. It's sandwiched in between the two, like this one here. Okay, it closed above 20 MA but below 40 MA here. Okay, right. And if you see here, remember, green pentagon, usually we have the price close but it does not materialize. So just monitor and see. Okay, and it's okay if, let's say, the price already shoot up. Let's say on the first green pentagon, it already fly up. It's okay. There's many other stocks in US. You have, I think, more than 20,000 counters in the US market there. Okay, on 4 exchanges. So it's okay kalau itu ikan sudah terbang, you just put in another bait to catch another fish. Okay. So like this is boleh lah, but I takkan tengok lah for this one. I will look at other stocks. Then another one just now was JBLU. Okay, so JBLU, okay, JetBlue Airways Corporation. Okay, like here will be okay. Like, okay, this one we don't really count. Okay, this is the first pentagon. Then we have another one pentagon here, but there's no follow through after that. So the price moving sideways. In the event, if let's say you enter here, okay, then just make sure you have your stop loss in place. If it fails to, then you just exit. You can use ATR stop loss. Okay, let's just see where's the ATR stop loss. Okay, ATR is still there. Okay, you haven't kena your ATR, so you are still holding it. Okay, but it will move sideways. All right, if let's say you want to be more discretionary, then you use your 20 MA lah, or this bar here, the low of this bar here as your exit point there lah. Okay, if they say you don't want to stuck too long, if market moves sideways like this. All right. Okay, but if you see the chart also is the MA and the price is too near. Okay, so if you follow by the rule base, again, price, if it is too close to 200 MA, then that's the one that we do not want to select. Okay, if like Faro will be a nice one. Okay, at least it has a distance a bit. Okay, all right. So any other questions for bottom fishing? Okay, look into the stock. There's one I saw, 15. Okay, let's go on to the 15. Okay, 15, we have the trend here, and we look at the price here. We have, okay, there's a few there. This one tak boleh. High-in, HOMB is not. Okay, then anything -10, we have OPK and so on. Okay, so below -10, you can see lah, but I don't think there will be a nice one. Like this one, they say we take here -10, -8% here, AMCX. So AMCX. Okay, MCX now, this is too near. Okay, it's quite too near, so won't look at it. Another one will be Kelly Services. Okay, they are a recruitment company. Kelly Services. Okay, so sometimes you see they have A and B. Okay, so basically it's stock. What you call that? It's like they're grading like grade A and grade B lah. Okay, so that's how they differentiate themselves. Sometimes like A will be a premium, B will be the cheaper type. Okay, so we go for Kalia, and we can see here also not really a nice setup there yet. Okay, not really. So I will not look at it, and it's a bit too close to here. Okay, so I saw one which is TRIT -29. Okay, so TRIT. Make sure it's you follow accordingly. Yeah, don't take this one. TRIT and this one here. Okay, now this one like similar like the other one, which is it MPAA? Yeah, where there's a bottom fishing kita tak nampak sangat, but towards here there is a potential of the price in the 200 MA to converge. Okay, right now it's quite stable around here being supported. Okay, so let's just monitor and we see how the price unfold later. Okay, mostly if it continues sideways, you can see your 2040 is going to go like, you know, intertwined with each other. And if it starts to, the price starts to go up, right, then this thing going up, 200 MA coming down, then yeah, there might be one nice potential setup or entry around there. Okay, so just monitor for MPAA, and TRIT. Okay, TRIT. Okay, right. So any questions? Nothing else, right, from your side? Okay. If there's none, then I will end the session. All right. Any queries on like bottom fishing? Okay. Tada. Okay, can. So thank you so much for your time. We will end the session, and just have a look at TRIT, which is this stock here, and MPAA, okay, or the motors, what was it? Let's just change the date here to 16. Okay. So sort by the trend, and what was it? Okay, Motorcar Parts of America, MPAA. All right. Okay, so thank you everyone, and we'll see you all next week. All right, bye-bye.